afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is the Short Track Showdown, presented by LaPlante Racing Products. Here tonight, I'm Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and we got a good one here. A big time race here at the Langley Speedway. Langley makes its return to the ASRC schedule, and we have a lot for these drivers to be racing for. Not only is it a normal points night here tonight, but there is over $300 in cash prizes here for drivers to walk away with. It's going to be action-packed, it's going to be exciting, and we got it all going on here tonight. 200 laps going to be the main show here tonight, but first we got qualifying, then some heat races, and even an LCQ if needed. At the moment, it looks like we will not need that, as I believe 22 cars here on the premise at the moment, but still some decent amount of time. The entry list kind of cuts off at 9 p.m., so drivers have up until that point. Right now, we can chat around with different drivers, get their thoughts here. So I think the first driver we will try and talk to here tonight will be our points leader coming into tonight. That is going to be the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. So we'll see if Nichols here has a chance to chat with us. And I know he has a lot to be racing for here tonight, as we'll see if we got a copy from Zach Nichols. Zach, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yep.
Alrighty, my man. Coming into tonight, you're probably one of the favorites. How we feeling here? 200 laps. Langley has only been raced 2 times here in the ASRC schedule. How we feeling, my man?
I mean, I don't know how good I am here. I have limited races around this track. I feel like the most time I have on this track is with a wing micro sprint, to be honest. But yeah, I don't have many laps here, so we gotta start in the back, so we're just gonna bide our time, try to figure it out, and see if we can go forward.
Yeah, I mean, starting in the back's definitely going to be a challenge, but the good thing for you, 200 laps here tonight, you come in with the points leader, so not only, cash prizes at hand, but also a lot for you, your season on the line here tonight with a points paying night.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just with the limited amount of laps and having to start in the back is going to be definitely a challenge. But we have 200 laps to figure it out and get up towards the front. So hopefully we can figure it out fast and start picking them off and get up there towards the front at the end. And hopefully we can come home with that payday.
Yeah, it would definitely be awesome to see, Zach. So before we let you go, continue to get dialed on in. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here on the broadcast?
Yeah, I got my Uncle Kenny in the watching. My dad's probably watching, so I'd like to shout them both out, and hopefully we're talking to you after the race.
Alrighty, well, hopefully as well, Zach. So good luck here tonight, and go have some fun, my man.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Alrighty, that was last week's winner. A little bit of spoiler for the broadcast coming Thursday, but Zach Nichols picking up the win at Sobo. He has a chance to break the record for the most ever ASRC wins. That could be done tonight as well. So a lot riding on the 44 machine coming into tonight. Another driver I think we'll have to talk to here. At the moment, he sits atop of the board here in practice at 15.19, done by the 86 machine of Stephen Hoffman. So we'll see if Stephen Hoffman here has a copy. Stephen Hoffman, you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, Brett?
Alrighty, my man. How we doing here tonight? Looking pretty good in the timing charts. You sit quick time here in practice.
Yeah, they say a blind squirrel find a nut every now and then, so hopefully we can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot riding on the line here tonight. A lot of racing, heat racing, qualifying, LCQ, and then, of course, the big 200 lapper. How you feeling about this place?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be really hard to pass. You're going to have to be on your marks all 200 laps. No breaks. So I think if you're just consistent, hit all your marks, like I was saying, I think it should turn out all right.
Yeah, and, showing some speed here, does that affect the outlook? I mean, what's your expectations leaving here tonight?
Honestly, just staying out of trouble and finishing the thing. If we come out in the top 5 or in some of the money spots, that'd be a bonus. But I think at the end of the night, we're just going to treat it like a regular night and just go out there and try to do a good top 5 and see what goes from there.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, like you said, Steven, tonight normal points paying night as well. So people have to decide and choose what's more important: a little bit of money or that points at the end of the night, right?
Yeah, if we find ourselves behind the leader with a couple to go, I don't think we'll force the issue, but we'll give her all she's got.
Alrighty, well, Steven, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here on the broadcast?
Shout out to mom and dad if they're watching, and I think my brother Kyle, he might be tuning in. Just shout out to everybody at the Turn 3 Network chimes in, and whoever's watching, let's have some fun and turn left.
All right, sounds like a plan. Good luck here tonight, Steven.
Yep, hopefully see you about an hour or so.
Yep, hopefully we'll be talking to you after the show here tonight. Alrighty, folks, that was our quick time practice driver, the 86 machine of Steven Hoffman. One car I had to get a word with. We haven't talked too much with him here this season, but I think we got to pull in the 41 machine of TJ Hassan. He sits 16th here in practice. Let's see what the driver of the 41 is thinking as we get ever so closer to the end of practice. About 15 minutes left here tonight. Hey TJ, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
What's up, Brett? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, my man. How about yourself? How you feeling? A big night here tonight.
Yeah, early I'm feeling good. This is one of my favorite tracks, so we'll see if I can be a little bit more on pace tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tough track car combo because it's all about that throttle control. How we feeling with this combo here tonight? Langley, not a super popular track when it comes to iRacing.
Yeah, I guess that fits me perfect because, it's one of my favorite tracks on the sim, so I've been looking forward to this race, all week since we announced it, and, hoping to get up there in the top 10 and mix it up a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I'd love to see it. A lot of racing, heat racing returns, as well as the 200 lapper, and like you said, your expectations mixing on up. Is that the game plan for going forwards with all this racing ahead of us?
Yeah, I just want to race hard and clean. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks. So, hoping to have a good run. And, these guys are all real fast out here. So, that's all I can do to keep up most weeks. So I feel like I got a good shot to at least be a little bit in the mix tonight.
Yeah, for sure, my man. And I hope to see it. Before we let you go, TJ, anyone you want to give a shout out to quickly here on the broadcast, tuning on in here live?
Yeah, first off, you want to say love you to Mom. Mom's always the best. And I just want to thank Trevor Christiani Racing. And, that's about it.
All righty, my man. Well, TJ, good luck here tonight. And hopefully we'll be talking to you here when this night's over, my man.
All right, sounds good, brother.
All righty, folks. That was the driver of the 41 machine, TJ Hassan, getting a word in with us. We'll take a look here, see who else is maybe available for some interviews. Just trying to drum up this hype, get everyone pumped on up because I know I'm pumped up. Hopefully you folks watching at home are as well. We'll head now to talk to your driver who has visited victory lane here at Langley. One of 2 winners, the first ever winner back in 2021. Josh Kosick picked up the win. Then in 2023, the super late models came back here to Langley, and it was the 35 machine of Hayden Swank picking up the win. So we will dial up Hayden here and see his thoughts coming into tonight for the 35 machine. Hayden, do you got a copy?
Hey, Brett, I gotcha.
Alrighty, my man. I was hyping you up, leading you on in. Hayden, I don't know if you know, but you were the last winner when we came to Langley here in ASRC way back in 2023.
Yeah, I actually do remember that one. I didn't realize that was the last time we've been here, but yeah, that was definitely a fun run there.
Yeah, that it was. It was a great time to be had. And, coming into tonight, you might be one of the favorites here. Last winner, last time to pick up the checkered flag, looking to go 2 in a row. So, Hayden, what's your expectations? What's your game plan coming into tonight with 200 laps on the board?
Well, Brett, I think it's just that really. I mean, we've got a 200 lap race here. The last time I was here, I had to be really conservative with it, and it paid off very well for us. So I think the expectation is going to be the same here. Just be really smart, especially those first 125 laps. Not going to burn off the right front or the right rear because you can absolutely do both if you try. So we'll just make sure to be smart, but also get some good track position and be there at the end.
Yeah, that's going to be the key here tonight is that track position at the end. That probably last 50 laps are going to be very, very important.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I don't want to say the first 150 doesn't matter because it absolutely does, but as long as I can get myself to the end of the race, then we'll call it a win for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, for sure, my man. And Hayden, you're not coming into tonight looking totally at the points. I think you're more looking to this $300 prize pot. Is that the case?
I kind of forgot about it, but now that you bring it up, it'd be nice to take a little bit of that home. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure, my man. It definitely sweetens the deal here and adds to that victory. So, Hayden, before we let you go, continue to get dialed on in. Anyone you want to give a shout out to here on the broadcast here tonight?
Yeah, just huge shout out to this whole organization. When we get to put on special nights like these, it just makes a good thing better. So, always happy to run a big event like this. And yeah, huge shout out to Epic Motorsports Insurance and Lucky Ducks Motorsports as well. Should be a good run tonight.
All right, I agree, Hayden. So, best of luck to you here tonight. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of this one, my man.
Sounds good, Brett. Looking forward to it.
Alrighty, folks, that was last winner when the last time we came here to Langley, Hayden Swank picking up the win. Now, along the lines, the driver with the best finish here at Langley over the 2 times we have came here has been the 88 of Chuck Darling. So we'll see if Chuck here can get a word with us and chat with us just for a moment here and see what the 88 is thinking coming into tonight. Hey, Chuck, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got a copy. How's it going, Brett?
Pretty good, man. How are you feeling? Big night coming into tonight.
Feeling a little okay. I've done good here in the past. Had a good run last week at South Boston in the street stock. So hopefully, everything goes according to plan tonight, and I at least get a top 5 finish.
Yeah, Chuck, because like you said, you've had some pretty good finishes. I looked at the stats, and over the 2 races we've had here before, you have averaged a 3rd place finish, my man. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these little short tracks. You just gotta be careful with the throttle. Your throttle input is kind of key to how the way the night's going to go. Fortunately, I've had some pretty darn good runs, and I'm hoping to continue that luck tonight.
Yeah, I hope so as well, my man. I mean, 200 laps, a long race. What's your game plan going into tonight? And then, of course, that expectations you mentioned a little bit before as well.
Well, going into tonight, my expectations are to hopefully finish in the top 5. I would consider that a win. And the main thing tonight is just be patient and make sure the pit stop calls are right. I don't want a shortage of fuel situation or, putting on the wrong set of tires or anything like that. So, fortunately, I got my teammate Ron Hart in my ear, so we'll come up with a solid game plan for 200 laps of action here at Langley.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I know this time you won't forget any of that extra stuff. You'll be locked on in here. And, yeah, if that all goes to plan, like I said, the stats show you might be one of the underdogs here flying under the radar to have a really good finish.
God, Brett, the way my season's gone, I really hope I get another good finish. But 200 laps is a long time. Anything can happen. The goal is to just, be consistent, hit my marks. If I have to give up a couple of positions at the start, then so be it. But I'm not going to press the issue too soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. So Chuck here, we'll let you get back to practice, but before we do, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here on the broadcast?
Yeah, definitely got to thank my teammate Ron Hart. He's been in my ear since we joined forces, and he's been a blessing to, have coaching me along the way. And also Mark at Race One Wraps. He does a killer job on the paint scheme, and my buddy Brad Bergevin at Dead Short Race Car Wiring.
All right, awesome stuff there, Chuck. Well, good luck to you, my man, here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this one.
Hope so, Brett. Have a good call, man.
All righty, that was Chuck Darling, one of the best average finisher coming into tonight. Has an average finish of third, would put him in some money-paying spots. I think here, before we get ready to head to qualifying, we got to talk to one more driver, and that is the driver of the 16, Noah Boucher, out here tonight. So we'll get a word with Noah here. Noah, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. We'll see if we get a copy here from Noah. Noah, do you got a copy?
What's up?
Alrighty, my man. How we doing here tonight? How we feeling coming into Langley, my man? 200 laps here.
I feel pretty good. I think we'll have an okay run. Not looking to do anything flashy. Just hoping to have a decent run. We're not running for points, so.
Yeah, coming into tonight, you're looking at that prize purse here, and we gotta, of course, give a big shout out to the sponsor you're repping on the car, LaPlante Racing Products, coming on board with the short track throwdown. This is really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, no doubt. Paul kind of lets me have free reign with the marketing and whatnot, so I figured we do enough stuff with the league, might as well do some type of big event, pay out some money, try to get some guys to show a little more interest in it, do some type of big event.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, a great car count so far here. Still have some time for some more to file on them in, but 22 cars for 200 laps. Man, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for with it, get some guys to put on a wicked good show. And there's a bunch of talented guys in this field, no doubt. Some of the best guys I've ever run with. So wanted to give them, the chance to win some big money. I mean, there's other leagues that do the big money stuff or just like the big event stuff, really. And I just wanted to try to do something like that for these guys.
Yeah, no, we really do appreciate it a lot, Noah. And yeah, coming into tonight, what's the game plan? What's the expectations? Because 200 laps, a lot could happen around this small boring Langley Speedway.
Just keep the nose on it for 3/4 of the race, and just maintain, try to keep, a half decent spot where we're not getting lapped, but we're not having to push and blow the right front off it. So just try to do that and be within striking distance in the end and have a shot at it.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's definitely sounds like a pretty solid game plan there. That's going to be the key. Those last 50 laps, that last pit stop, going to be a lot riding on that. But yeah, a little bit about LaPlante, if you don't mind, Noah, chat a little bit about it. Tell these viewers, what a great company it is and what they have to offer.
Yep, good friend of mine, Paul LaPlante. He had scaffold wrist injuries before, and he ran modifieds for years. He wanted something made by a racer for the racers. The SCD device is scaffold wrist. Like, it's just basically what it is a bunch of little clutches that disengage and engage on the steering shaft when you get hit in the wheel to help lessen the blow in the steering wheel. So as a driver, you're not getting your hands wrapped up and breaking your wrists and whatnot. There's a lot of that happens. So the first version, you welded the steering shaft and this and that. The new version, which he calls the SCD3, wicked nice. All it does is it bolts straight onto your wheel, goes between the adapter for the quick disconnect and the steering wheel itself. Connects. It takes all 5 minutes to screw in, and it clicks right on. There's a little pin in there, so when you're in the pits, you put the pin in, and you have full range of motion. You pull it out. With the car off, it'll disengage the steering. With the car on, power steering, it's fully engaged, and it does not stop the steering, it brings it down to 1/3 of the steering at a time. So what would usually take you one full rotation of the wheel, it would be 3. So you still have steering ability. It's just less than when the clutches disengage, but it's there to help lessen the blow. It's not an advantage. It's not any type of disadvantage. It's just to save the racers in the long run. Because Brett, I know you race. Last thing you want to do is be out for 2 months because you snapped your wrist in a wreck.
Yeah, man, and yeah, that's always, safety should be every driver's, number one concern, and that thing I'm sure helps a ton, especially Northeast modifieds and any race car, let's say, over anywhere in the U.S. Because yeah, like you said, you hate to be sidelined for an injury out on track, and frankly, there's nothing worse than that, right?
Of course not. Paul himself tested and proved it before he even released it. I used to help him out for years. We got in multiple wrecks with it, and it worked every single time. Noah Corner ran the brand new SCD3 before it was even released, and it worked just perfect for him when he got caught up in a wreck at the Stafford SK5K back in July or August. So everything is tested and proven to work before we even sell it. I mean, Paul takes pride in everything he does, and he's constantly developing it. And like, I know he's working on a brand new one right now.
Man, that's awesome to hear. Well, Noah, before to let these viewers know, where could you maybe find this product at?
You can find the product at LaPlanteRacingProducts.com online. You put in your order, and it'll be shipped straight to your door. Or you can message them on Facebook, LaPlante Racing Products. Find them on Facebook, and they'll get right with you, and they'll do the same thing, ship it straight to your door. And the new one, quick and easy, like I said, couple bolt, it goes between the coupler and the steering wheel, only takes a couple minutes, and it's done.
Man, that sounds wicked sweet, Noah. And yeah, you can find it at LaPlanteRacingProducts.com. And yeah, Noah, before we let you go, looks like qualifying about to kick on off. So anyone you want to give a shout out to here on the broadcast before we let you go and try and set a flying lap here?
I don't know about flying, but I want to thank all the admins, let me do this. I really appreciate it. We like giving back to all the drivers in here, So I want to thank everybody at ASRC, all the admins, all the broadcasters, everybody who decided to show up tonight and run. It means a lot. Shows us that you guys want us to do events like this. So maybe we'll plan another one here soon.
Awesome stuff. We look forward to it. And Noah, good luck here tonight. Go set a good lap here, and yeah, have some fun. And hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, only one can hope.
All right, man. Good luck out here tonight.
Good luck.
Alrighty, folks, that was Noah Boucher out here in the 16 machine. So we get ready to rock on over, and it looks like Noah here ready to rock and roll in qualifying. So we'll keep an eye here on the 16 machine right now. Anthony Danta with the quick time, a 15.250 for the 09 here. Sits on the pole. Andrew Payne second quick. As Noah Boucher here hits the start finish line, the 16 machine is on the clock. Boucher here down the backstretch for his first lap here, and you can see LaPlante Racing Products on the hood of that 16 machine. A Justin Brooks design car is, heads up, Noah, big time sideways. But that first lap, good enough to put him P number 10, as he has out-qualified over half the field at the moment. So I'm sure he will take that. Two drivers we got to keep an eye on here. Zach Nichols just completed his lap. He was able to go quick time with a 15.22 for the 44. Now we had to do one of our best times here in practice. That was completed by the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman off of turn number 4 for his time lap. Hoffman here will only go to 12th, a 15.335, and that just shows you, folks, how close the field is tonight. First through 11th, separated by just 1/10 of a second here. So man, oh man, some close times here tonight as we get ready to head on over. It looks like 20 cars taking a time. Only drivers that did not take a lap here would be the 11 of Dan Dill and the 22 machine of Jamie Leach. Everyone else has taken a lap here and is ready to get set. I believe we will have 3 heat races here tonight, and with the amount of car count, everyone is making the show. So we will have that as heat race number 1 gets ready to rock and roll here tonight. 15 laps of distance here in the heat races. So here we go for the heat race lineup, and we got to give a shout out to this 44, Zach Nichols, walking away with the quick time here tonight, as Nichols will lead heat race number 1 to the green flag. The 44 will start on the pole. To Zach Nichols outside will be the 07, I believe making his first ever ASRC start. That is the 07 of Beckett Brown. Rolling off P number 3 here tonight is the 38. That is Dave Payton. Rolling off 4th is Devin McDonald here in the 18 machine. Then in 5th is the cold beer Zach Coyer in the 13. Jimmy Gauker here makes his return to ASRC. He will start 6th. Rolling off 7th will be the 8 machine of Zach Postma here. It looks like Jamie Leach not making the call, so we will have 7 cars ready to do battle here tonight. And of course, we got to give a huge shout out to Postma, and that is being with the Postma Forum. If you want to find out more information, you can check them out with the link in the description. Always great to see the 8 car of Zachary Postma out here. Appreciate all the support, and yeah, we get ready to rock and roll here. So the iRacing Pace Truck will head down pit road, and it's going to be Zach Nichols in control of heat race number 1, leading the field down. And here we go. We are racing here at Langley here tonight. Zach Nichols away with the race lead, side by side for second already. Dave Payton trying to get around the 07 of Beckett Brown. Those two will lean on each other just a little bit through 3 and 4 and give heat number 2 to the 38. Dave Payton is on the move here. Payton up in a second. Beckett Brown able to slot into the bottom side in P number 3. I tell you what, that is going to be the battle here tonight. Everyone's going to be fighting and clawing into the bottom side of this racetrack. Further on back here, we see and Devin McDonald here nose to tail. These two were side by side for a few laps. Now single filed on out, but out in front, Zach Nichols trying to stretch his legs just a little bit and run away from the rest of the field. Out in front, it is Zach Nichols now with 11 laps to go in race number 1. Dave Payton trying to hang on to second. Back about Brown though, closing the gap slightly so. Oh, Dave Payton's going to miss the bottom there. That could have almost left the door open up for the 07 if he had a run. That time the 07 will sail it in there deep, try and look to the inside of the 38. Right on board with Dave Payton here, looking back at that 07 machine. You can see these drivers trying to make this track as short as possible. We'll see drivers put left sides and maybe later in a run try and put all 4 tires down on the apron here tonight. As we continue to ride with second place Dave Payton, trying to hang on to P number 2. He has the rest of the field though closing on it. Right behind that black 07 is the 13 of Zach Boyer. Cross flags here in race number 1. Zach Nichols has checked that out. Dave Payton gonna miss the bottom. Here comes Brown now looking to the inside of the 38. Brown will probably have to drive off the corner. We'll have to continue to hold on to that 3rd position here. Jimmy Gauker now to the back bumper of the 13 machine. And Gauker trying to get 1 position here in these last 5.5 laps. This battle on the speedway here in heat race number 1 definitely this group of 4 race cars here, all on top of each other, all just waiting for one driver to make that mistake so they can pounce. I think Gauger got a piece of the wall there down the backstretch, so 2 gonna lose just a little bit of ground here to the 13. Does have enough time to reel back in here, but I think with the amount of laps remaining here, drivers starting to run out of time here in heat race number 1. This will set the starting lineup for the main event here tonight. The winner will start on the pole. Second place will start P number 4 and then continue to get staggered further on back. Obstacle sticks up in the air for Zach Nichols. It is 2 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Still right on top of each other, but off of turn number 4, this time by Zach Nichols. We'll see the white flag here tonight. It is 1 lap to go. Are sponsored by Boardwalk Subs here, so if you are in the Michigan area, be sure to check out your local Boardwalk Sub. But off of turn number 4, Zach Nichols will pick up the win in heat race number 1. Dave Payton will finish 2nd, 3rd going to Beckett Brown. 4th is Zach Porter, Jimmy Gauger 5th, Devin McDonald 6th, and Zach Postma rounding out the field from heat race number 1 as we now head to heat race number 2 of 3 here tonight for the short track throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. So here tonight, the starting lineup for heat race number 2 will look like the following. Anthony Danta in the 09 machine will lead the field to the green flag. To his outside will be the 98. That is Ian Martin. Josh Cole in the 920 machine will roll off P number 3, and then the LaPlante Racing Products 16 machine of Noah Boucher will roll off P number 4. Ron Hart in the 51 starting deep in the field here tonight. He will start 5th. Chase Swank in the 155, his first ever big time ASRC show. He will start 6th, and then the Iron Man himself, the 2 of John DeMeester, will start 7th. John DeMeester, most ever starts here in ASRC. Actually, it used to be John DeMeester. Now it's actually Dave Payne. John DeMeester sits 2nd in that. He actually got beat this summer with that. DeMeester has 213 starts here in ASRC. Dave Payne now up over 250. So lights are out on the speedway, so this time by, we are going green flag racing for heat race number 2. It's going to be Danta Martin on the front row, the 09 in control here.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Danta will wait on it now, jump on the loud pedal, and we go green flag racing here in heat race number 2. Danta very low on the racetrack, using up all that apron here tonight in 1 and 2. Will take over the point. Now here comes Josh Cole to take over that 2nd position. Josh Cole up into P number 2. Here comes now Ron Hart to make things work on that bottom side. 51 of Hart able to get clear. Martin finally finds an opening back in 4th though. So Martin a lot of spots here in race number 2. Try and rebound here and try and get some of those spots back. So out in front, it is Anthony Danta here leading the way. Josh Cole in 2nd, Ron Hart 3rd, Ian Martin 4th, Chase Swank 5th, Noah Boucher in 6th. And it looks like John DeMeester here having some problems in the 2 car. DeMeester will pull that car pit side here with 11 laps to go here in heat race number 2. So out in front, Anthony Danta with the lead. Not as much as advantage as we saw in heat race number 1. Josh Cole here keeping him honest in this 920. Cole has been having some pretty good runs here in ASRC, just hasn't had the finishes that he's kind of deserved. He has ran many of times inside the top 10, has raced his way up into there, but just hasn't had the finishes. Could the 920 make a statement here tonight on one of the biggest races of the year, and for sure the biggest race of the season? is the short track throwdown. Ron Hart here last time by. Let's take a look at those lap times last time by. Looks like Danta with the quickest of the bunch here with a 15.38. Hart, though, almost a 10th quicker than Josh Cole. So Hart, if he keeps up that kind of eating away at that gap, Hart could be to the back bumper of the 920 before the end of this one. Last time by, though, the fastest car out on track is the 98 of Ian Martin. Martin starting to figure things out. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row. Only fell back because of that outside lane here. Oh, a few cars in the wall on the backstretch. Ron Hart and Ian Martin both getting into it. This time by at the stripe, though. Anthony Danta will see 5 laps to go here in heat race number 2. Danta still leading the way, has led all of the first 10 laps here in heat race number 2. Heat race number 1, all green flag laps. It looks like heat race number 2 will be the same here unless something crazy happens in these last 3.5 laps. I say let's ride on board with Ron Hart here. Just take a listen at this throttle input. I mean, very limited throttle time here at Langley. A lot of off throttle time coasting, rolls back into it, and then not until you're fully kind of planted and pointed where you want to go is when you want to roll back into that full throttle as we ride on board with the 51 of Hart. This time by here at the start finish line, we see the white flag here. 1 lap to go here at Langley Speedway. And Anthony Danta gonna walk away here early with some money. I forgot to mention, folks, heat race winners walking away with some cash here. I believe $5 to the heat race winner. So Zach Nichols walking away with that. Now Anthony Danta doing the same as well. As Danta will go flag to flag, pick up the win. Josh Cole 2nd, 3rd Ron Hart, 4th Ian Martin, 5th Chase Swank, Noah Boucher 6th, and then John DeMeester will finish in P number 7. All right, folks, so racing flying on by here tonight. So let's head down trackside here for the final heat race of the night. Leading the field to green will be the 91. That is Andrew Payne. To Payne's outside is the 11 car of Jaden Kurtachi. Kurtachi throwing some pink onto the car for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. He's rocking a pretty sweet paint scheme here. Definitely team cars to our points leader coming into tonight, the 44 of Zach Nichols. Rolling off 3rd here tonight. Last winner here at Langley, the 35 machine of Hayden Swank will start 3rd. 4th will be the 86. That is Stephen Hoffman. Rolling off 5th here tonight will be the 88 of Chuck Darling. TJ Hassan in the 41 will start 6th, and then starting shotgun on heat race number 3 does not make the call though here tonight would have been the 11 of Dan Dill. So that will do it for the final starting lineup here for the LaPlante Racing Products short track throwdown. $5 on the line for the winner of heat race number 3. And then after this, I believe, gonna go right into warm up here. We'll see if we have time to maybe chat with a driver or two, or maybe get things set on and ready to rock and roll for 200 laps. As here we go, the iRacing Pace truck here heads off of pit road, and we go green flag racing here in heat race number 3. Oh, contact for second there. Jaden Kurtachi, Hayden Swank gonna lean on each other. Kurtachi big time sideways there down the backstretch. Chuck Darling sideways. Darling gonna lose it. And he's gonna bring out our first Boardwalk Subs caution flag of the evening. As Darling, I think, just got on the binders a little bit too hard. Worried about getting into the side of the 11, and that just sent him on around. So let's take a look here at the replay and see what happened. As we look at the 88 of Chuck Darling, yeah, Darling just maybe a little bit too much rear brake. The back end just steps on out of it, trying to stay off the door of the 11. And then Stephen Hoffman doing a great job at some wreck avoidance. Same with the 41 of TJ Hassan. And then Darling going to get into that drain just a little bit there in turn 4. So our first caution of the night here, coming out pretty late here. All the way in heat race number 3, as I believe we might be ready to rock and roll here again. As yes, we are. iRacing Pace Truck on in. Here we go. Andrew Payne on the loud pedal, and we go back to green flag racing here at Langley. This time, Jaden Kratachi gets a better start. Kratachi able to get down to the bottom, so the 11 car able to hang on to second. Hayden Swank going to stay in third. How about further on back? TJ Hassan able to get around Stephen Hoffman. So Hassan up into P number 4. Chuck Darling able to get around the 86 as well. We keep an eye here on this battle with these 3 cars. Kind of 3-car breakaway in 2 different packs here in heat race number 3. As Andrew Payne continues to lead the way, here we go. Chuck Darling looking to the inside of the 44. Is gonna have position here going into turn number 1. Darling way down on the racetrack, almost on pit road exit there, as he will try and get clear of the 41. Can't quite do it this time. Stephen Hoffman says, hey man, you're gonna go do the hard work for me. We're gonna follow right on through. So Hoffman back up into 5th. Darling back up into 4th here. Out in front, Andrew Payne here leads the way in heat race number 3. Now it's going to be single digits laps to go here tonight. It is now 9 laps to go here in our final heat race of the night. Darling and Hoffman trying to spice things up just a little bit for that 4th position out here. Looks like out in front though, Andrew Payne continuing to lead the way. Jaden Kratachi trying a different line than the 91 machine. Right now, Payne, though, able to stretch out his lead down the straightaways. Kratachi able to gain just a little bit on corner entry there. That time, a really good 3 and 4 from the 11. Halfway down here in our final heat race of the night. This heat race had our only caution flag, a single car spin here tonight. As Kratachi able to narrow that gap even more here, was able to get under 0.3 of a second. So the 11 car might have one shot at $5 here before we even take the green flag for our main event here tonight. As this time by the field, we'll see 5 laps to go. That battle for 4 still raging on as Darling tries to hold off the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman all over that back bumper, but he pretty much has to wait for Darling to make a mistake, or else try and just give him a slight little nudge to move him up to that second lane. I mean, that's the only way these drivers are going to have to get around each other here, is to get elbows out and get down to that inside of the car in front of them. Down the backstretch, both first and second get a piece of the wall. This opens up the door for Hayden Swank. Swank will tag the back of Kratachi. Popsicle sticks up in the air. It is 2 laps to go here. Further on back, Stephen Hoffman, Chuck Darling side by side here. Hoffman gonna try and get that spot from Darling. Darling gonna try and hang on for one more lap on the outside, but here we go. It is the white flag final time around for heat race action here at the Short Track Throwdown. Down the backstretch, it's going to be a drag race here to the start finish line, but off of turn number 4, Andrew Payne will pick up the win here in heat race number 3. Wow, what a finish there it was for 4th. Stephen Hoffman will just beat out Chuck Darling for that position, so it's going to be Payne, Kratachi, Swank, Hoffman, Darling, and Hassan here tonight. So that will do it for heat racing action here tonight. Now we'll get ready to head on over for some warm-up time, and then we head for our big 200 lapper here. So while we got a moment, I'm going to go get a drink of water here. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll be back for some racing action and the 200 lap main event for the LaPlante Racing Products short track throwdown with the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Series.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the Langley Speedway, and we have about 2 minutes to go before we get the call for drivers to head down grid side and get ready for this 200 lapper. So some big keynotes that we had coming into tonight. Zach Nichols will start at the back of the field. He won last week at South Boston, has to go to the back with the shotgun rule, but with that, he would have started on the pole for the 44, but the one saving grace, he is eligible for the last to first challenge here that was offered up for the driver that started on pole. And with Zach Nichols already having to go to the back, I don't see any reason why he should turn down that offer. So if Zach Nichols can go from the back to the front, he will pick up 5 bonus points to the championship, as well as $20 in cold hard cash. Also, drivers we have to keep an eye on here. Back in 2023, the last time ASRC visited Langley Speedway, Hayden Swank picked up the checkered flag. Keep an eye on the 35 machine. And then over the last 2 races, the best average finisher from those races has been the 88 of Chuck Darling. He's another driver we will have to keep an eye on before it's all said and done. But a lot of big, heavy hitters here tonight. 200 laps. A lot can happen up until then. I mean, we have all sorts of pit stops coming at you, tire strategy, and of course the biggest thing, a lot of race strategy before it's all said and done. Also, we got to, of course, give a shout out to LaPlante Racing Products coming on board with the short track throwdown, as well as Postma Flooring. They are the title sponsor for this series, on board each and every week. So we got to give a huge thank you to both those, as well as Boardwalk Subs coming on board to be the flag sponsor here for this season. as we get ready to head around trackside. You can see 3/8 of a mile speedway, two kind of similar ends, a little bit different. You definitely feel it in the car. And I tell you what, 200 laps, you can see up at the top of the scoring here. It is going to be a fun one to watch as we head down trackside and go through the starting lineup for the first annual Short Track Throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. Zach Nichols in the 44 would lead the field to the green flag, but with the back to front challenge as well as being the shotgun driver, Zach Nichols will start dead last on the field here tonight. Rolling off P number 2 will be the 09. That is Anthony Danta. Danta would love to pick up the win here. He has a great shot to do it starting in P number 2. Rolling off third will be the 91. That is Andrew Payne. To his outside, a fellow teammate, the 38 of Dave Payton. Josh Cole here will start inside of the top 5. Cole will roll off 5th. Starting in 6th will be the 11. That is Jaden Kratachi. Then in Kratachi in 6th. 7th going to the 07 car. That is Beckett Brown. Ron Hart in the 51 will roll off 8th. 9th going to the 35 of Hayden Swing. Rounding out the top 10 will be the 13 machine. That is Zach Hoyer. Starting in 11th is the 98 of Ian Martin. And starting in 12th here tonight will be the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. And 13th is the 2 car Jimmy Gowker. 14th the 155 of Chase Swank. Chuck Darling in the 88 will roll off 15th. 16th going to Deb McDonald in the 18. Noah Boucher in the 16 will start 17th. 18th TJ Hassan in the 41. Zach Postma in the 8 will start 19th. 20th going to the 2 car of John DeMeester. Dan Dill and Jamie Leach both not making the call here for the main event. So we will have 20 drivers ready to do battle here. So it will now be with Zach Nichols going to the back. It will be Andrew Payne, Anthony Danta on the front row. These two have some drama between them. And you won't see it at the start of the race, at least I hope not, but throughout the race we could very well see some sparks flying through a lot of drivers here tonight as we get ready to sail them on down and we take a look here at the roofs of these race cars. Man, it is a great sight to see all these cars ready to do battle for the Short Track Throwdown. Pace truck heads off into turn number 4. Andrew Payne on the loud pedal, and we go green flag racing here from Langley for 200 laps. Payne will lead the way down the backstretch. Josh Cole up into P number 2. So the 920 came here to play, and right now doing just that as Cole is up in his second. Dave Payne stuck up in the second lane out here. Payne going to try and find an opening. Gets an opening down the backstretch. He will slot on into 7th here for the 38 car. As 20 cars here taking the green flag, all of them still out here. As out in front though, Andrew Payne leading the way over Josh Cole. Anthony Danta hot on his heels in second. Beckett Brown here in that 4th position, making his first ever ASRC start. He's up into the points here. Everyone has quickly single filed out here, lap 5. Everyone down on the bottom side of this racetrack. Out in front though, Andrew Payne leading the way here. Josh Cole hanging on to second. Anthony Danta though all over the back bumper of that 920. We ride on board with our second place driver out here. Josh Cole started in that 5th position up into second here in the early stages. Cole looking to hang on to that spot. Danta gonna try and take it away here into 3. Danta to the inside of the 920. Off of turn number 4 and we'll get clear. Anthony Danta, he started in second. He is back up into second. Josh Cole will get a piece of the wall there down the backstretch, but Everyone else kind of waiting and biding their time here tonight. A big race here, and we are about to only get to lap 10 of the 200. So if that tells you anything, folks, it is going to be a long way here to the end. As it's a long line of cars here, folks. I mean, the top three's kind of checked on out. Andrew Payne, Anthony Danta, and Josh Cole. Then from Beckett Brown throughout pretty much all the way back to, you know, Dev McDonald in 16th. It is just a cars about one car length between them. I mean, let's ride on board with Brown looking on back, and you can just see just how close this whole field is behind this 9 car. So Beckett Brown, another one of those drivers out here tonight on the move here early, started in that 7th position. He is up into 4th, but as you can see, a long line of race cars behind this 07 machine. He is going to try and hold him off here, but a long way to go here tonight. As old Brown almost got a piece of all, you heard him have to kind of feather it there right at the start-finish line. As this field definitely into a groove, definitely into their rhythm out here tonight. I mean, everyone just kind of riding, biding their time. One driver that is on the move had to start at the tail end of the field. The 44 machine of Zach Nichols. He is up into 13th here, trying to bring along the 16 of Noah Boucher as well. Boucher way up the racetrack though through 3 and 4. That will open up the door for Stephen Hoffman to try and get on by. And he will, so Hoffman back up into 14th out in front though. Anthony Danta has reeled in our race leader. Danta within a car length of the 91 of Andrew Payne, and Payne here pretty soon gonna have to start dealing with lap traffic here at Langley Speedway. I mean, lap times very, very quick around this racetrack. Drivers still under the 16-second mark, so by the time 1 minute goes on by, folks, it's already been a minute in real time. So drivers here coming and going here very quickly. Laps clicking on by, already a 10th of the way done and through the event. As Payne, like I said, getting closer and closer to that lap traffic here. John DeMeester, the first car in danger of going 1 lap down here. John will stay up into lane number 2 here. Payne will get on by, same with the 09 of Danta. Now here comes Josh Cole. Cole almost gets a piece of the lap car there. Cole, though, will be able to hang on. I tell you what, I did not see Josh Cole coming in tonight and running this well right away. We saw him, you know, drive through the field many of times in many ASRC races. Tonight he had the track position, and he's doing his best here and doing a great job in that 3rd position. Further on back here, drivers trying to get around Beckett Brown. Now Hayden Swank has been shuffled up into lane number 2. Jaden Kratachi to the inside of the 35. Kratachi will be able to get clear. Can Swank get down to the bottom? No, he cannot. Ian Martin will fill in that gap. Now the question is, how far will Swank fall down this order before he can get in line? Could maybe jump in front of the 38 of Payton. Yes, he will. Payne will give him a gap, so the 35 will only lose 2 spots. Now Kratachi will get around Brown. Brown will fall back to that 5th position. As now the long line of race cars here going to try and deal with that lap traffic. As off of turn number 4, it looks like everyone will get on by nice and safely here so far. Out in front though, Anthony Danta picked up the lead and Andrew Payne back into 3rd. So what happened there? We will try and find out, see what happened to Andrew Payne for him to lose the lead. Not sure if any kind of big moment or anything, as we take a look through 3 and 4, looking at the replay for the race lead, and it looks like Payne just says, you know, at this pace, I'm not liking it. You guys can go burn up your stuff, and I'll just sit back here and try and bide my time. As we come back live and get our first caution of the evening. Going to try and figure out what happened, and it looks like it may have involved the 16 machine of Noah Boucher. Oh man, more cars than that. Ron Hart here with some damage maybe to the 51 as well. So we will try and see what happened on the race replay. But our first Boardwalk Subs caution coming on out here right around lap 30. So, oh man, Ron Hart may have gotten jacked up. Wow, Stephen Hoffman with a big ride there. We'll try again, slow things on down, try and take a look here, but it might have been the old accordion here as Dave Payton gets into maybe the back of Hayden Swank, then Ron Hart gets in the back of him, and then everyone else just trying to check on up Chuck Darling to the underside of Stephen Hoffman. John DeMeester involved. Wow, Jimmy Gowker just able to squeak on by. Let's ride on board with the O2 machine and see what he saw here. Because, man, Gowker just able to squeak on by as cars go spinning all across the racetrack here right in front of him. As, whoo, it doesn't get that much closer, but that could be the move, the decider, to say, you know, he could finish very well by the end of this one. So with that caution out here tonight, I don't believe John DeMeester will get the lucky dog being involved in that incident. So DeMeester will stay our 1 car, 1 lap down as lights will go out on the iRacing pace truck. We are going green next time by. So the first Boardwalk Subs restart of the night about to be underway. It's going to be Anthony Danta, Josh Cole here on the front row. The iRacing pace truck heads down pit road, and we go back to green flag racing here for the short track throwdown. Out in front, Danta and Josh Cole side by side. Jaden Kratachi up into 3rd. Andrew Payne back into P number 4. If drivers wanted to get around a certain driver here, now is the time to do it. With the field all jumbled on up and some cars stuck in that outside lane with the restart. TJ Hassan here up inside the top 10. He is currently running in that 10th position as we get a caution flag on the speedway. Oh, 1 car up and over down the backstretch. That is the 91 machine of Andrew Payne. Payne, the driver that led the field to the green flag with some heavy damage. And that is a tough break for the ASRC house car. Wow, what happened to Andrew Payne? As we will take a look here. As Payne will catch the back of the field, and we will try and see. Oh, it looks like maybe Payne just, yeah, he lost connection. No one knew where he was at, and then he'll come back on screen doing barrel rolls. And I think Ron Hart may have gotten a piece of the ghost car. We'll take a look one more time here. But yeah, I think Payne blinked on out. I mean, that's the only reason why we get a scenic cam like this. It comes on back, he's spinning, goes on away. So a technical difficulty gonna take Andrew Payne out of the race here tonight. Dave Payton, Ron Hart, Zach Coyer all down on pit road as well. So that is a tough break for Andrew Payne, who will continue to stay out here. So his night isn't completely done and over with, it seems like, but gonna be a uphill climb for that 91 from here on out. So Andrew Payne, probably the car with the most amount of damage out here tonight. Payne led 26 laps so far here tonight. And like I said, we'll have a big time uphill climb to have here tonight before it's all said and done. Out in front though, Anthony Danta once again going to choose the inside lane, and once again it's going to be a Danta Cole front row restart for restart number 2 on the night. The iRacing pace truck here will make the hard left-hand turn down pit road, and Anthony Danta back on the loud pedal. A little bit of accordion through the field there. Everyone will keep it rolling though. Anthony Danta out in front, able to check on out. Josh Cole able to get down to the bottom side from that second position. Jaden Kratacci in third. Hayden Swank up into fourth. And look at this, folks. One of the drivers I said to keep an eye on here tonight, Chuck Darling, trying to drive his way into the top 5 here. Once he completes his pass on the 98, Chuck Darling will be in P number 5 here. So we approach the quarter way mark here in just a few laps, but Anthony Danta out in front here tonight. Danta has led 21, next time by going to be 22 laps here so far, so took over the lead there on lap 27 from Andrew Payne. Has not looked back, has led every lap since taking the lead here. As a driver, we got to keep an eye on here, the 44 of Zach Nichols. Nichols into the top 10 here. Zach Nichols up into 8th with still 3/4 of the race left here tonight. TJ Hassan here in that 10th position. Got a chance to talk to the driver of the 41 machine before taking the green flag here. He said, you know, as long as I'm in contention, having some fun racing with some drivers, and get a decent finish, I'm happy with it. Right now, sitting in a great spot here, a quarter of the way through the race here tonight. Some drivers with some heavy damage here towards the back. That is Zach Coyer here in the 13 machine. Open for some more yellows. That car definitely wounded. Same with the 91 of Andrew Payne. Same with the 38 of Dave Payton. Payne with some damage, as well as maybe the 55 machine of Chase Swank. Also back towards the back here, Zach Postma. He had a shortened heat race out here so far here tonight. Postma running in the 19th position here. He is clicking off these laps. He just has to be here at the end. And Postma could very well, you know, walk away with a top 10 finish depending on how much chaos there is tonight. John DeMeester, of course, back on the lead lap with that second caution. So the 2 car going to try and stay on the lead lap. But you can see that front end damage to DeMeester here, as out in front Anthony Danta continues to lead the way, has checked out to about a 1.2 second advantage over Josh Cole, and Josh Cole has had some pressure now put on the back bumper of this 920. as everyone else kind of running single file on. It looks like the top 9 kind of checking on out. Then 10th is Stephen Hoffman, quite a ways back from the cars in front. And I want to say, I think maybe only Zach Nichols is the only driver inside the top 10 that has pitted so far here tonight. Actually, I believe the 2 of Jimmy Gowker has also been down on pit road as well. So I wonder if Nichols just filled that car up with that virtual race fuel, or if he did take that first set of tires here. 3 sets of tires over the wall for these drivers here tonight. So you can definitely scheme and plan for the right strategy here, as we see Nichols looking to the inside of Hayden Swank, 3 wide down the backstretch. They will somehow make it work. And Zach Nichols now inside the top 5. He is up into 4th. And Nichols, when you get the right shot, you'll see it here through 3 and 4. That rear rotor on that 44 is glowing, and that tells me one thing. This car is set up on the tighter side, and he's using that brake pedal to try and rotate that car with that rear brake bias, with those rotors glowing as hot as they are. As old Nichols and Josh Cole will make contact there, so Kurtachi will get around Cole for second. Now the teammates of Kurtachi and Nichols sit second and third. Josh Cole able to slide down in the bottom side in that third position as we get our third Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening. And we will try and figure out where that came on out here, as it looks like maybe the 98, yes it is, of Ian Martin involved in this one. So Martin will keep an eye on heading through turns 3 and 4. Martin will get a piece of the wall. Then Devin McDonald will get into the back of the 98. Martin will come to a stop in the middle of the racetrack, and everyone will get on around the 98. So luckily no one else involved in that one, but Martin will go to the back, and we'll keep an eye out, see if Devin McDonald ends up tapping out from that one. Now, who decides to come down pit road? I mean, definitely the pit cycle has started for tires, and looks like Josh Cole will lead a handful of them down on pit road. Josh Cole, Beckett Brown, Andrew Payne, Dave Payton, Hayden Swank, Zach Coyer, Zach Postma, Chuck Darling, all down on pit road here. Looks like Postma will be the first car out from pit road. Then it is Josh Cole, Chuck Darling. So out in front, though, Anthony Danta has yet to visit a pit road. Same with Jaden Kurtachi. Zach Nichols has been down 2 times. Jimmy Gowker, has not been down pit road. Ron Hart has also been down pit road 2 times here tonight so far. So as you guys can now see with this race here, the strategy is starting to jumble up the order. And like I said, the key here tonight is positioning yourself in these last 50 laps to be in striking position of these points paying spots as well as money paying spots. All right, here we go. Anthony Danta, Jaden Kurtachi on the front row for restart number 3 of the night. Danta has been on fire on the restarts. We'll see if he gets another one. Yes, he does. We head back to green flag racing as Danta able to maybe not get clear. No, Jaden able to stay to the outside, but Kurtachi will try and slot on in. No, Zach Nichols will fill it on in here. So side by side for that second position here, as Zach Nichols will try and get around his teammate. Right behind them sits the 51 of Ron Hart. First driver on 4 fresh tires is the 920 of Josh Cole. Cole is quickly making his way through the field. He is back up into 7th here. As we get a caution, a lot of cars around here in 3 and 4. And that will be Chuck Darling involved, Hayden Swank. Man, oh man, a lot of cars involved in this one. As with that pit cycle, it jumbled up a lot. And same with these drivers here, and just everyone trying different stuff. As we take a look here, see what happens to Chuck Darling. So heading into turn number 1, no, Hayden Swank gets into TJ Hassan. Hassan has to save that race car. Man, Darling, just an innocent bystander in that one. Had nowhere to go, no time to react. As we take a look one more time, a little bit slowed on down. So Chuck Darling's tough night will continue to get tougher, as he has had zero luck this whole season. And it looks like not getting any better here tonight. As once again, the accordion on that bottom side, and Darling hard impact to that outside wall, then also gets tagged there by the 18 of McDonald. So with a quick caution, probably won't see anyone coming on down to, you know, take tires or anything like that, but at least towards the front. But if this runs on out, we start to approach the time where these drivers can come down pit road for the final time and make it to the end on fuel. But with the amount of cautions here that have come in a hurry, it's going to be a tall order to have this thing run to the end. But all these drivers very capable of doing just that, so it could happen at any time. That's why it is so important to be in the right position here. As here we go, lights are out once again. Restart number 4, and look at this, Zach Nichols back to the front row. It's going to be Anthony Danta leading the way, but Zach Nichols on the front row of restart number 4.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
And here we go, Danta away. We'll get a good start. Zach Nichols might have a chance to get to the bottom if he plays his cards right. Has the opening, and yes, he will. He will slot on into P number 2 right on the back bumper of our race leader here. So now Ron Hart trying to make that outside lane work here. Trying to work over the 11 of Jaden Kurtachi. Further on back, old cars all over the place. Beckett Brown around here on the backstretch. As we will once again get a caution flag. It looks like Andrew Payne involved in another incident here tonight. So Andrew Payne, another driver with absolutely zero luck. As we take a look here, see what happens down the backstretch. So happening inside the top 10 here. As we take a look, see what happens. It might have started with the 16. Yeah, Beckett Brown will get into the back of Noah Boucher. Send Boucher on around, and then Brown will get tagged by him. And wow, Andrew Payne, he had nowhere to go. We'll just get instantly turned, not knowing what happened. And then you saw Beckett Brown get hit by, I think, Chase Swank, put up on his side. Man, oh man, some big time hits here under our 5th caution. So while we are under our caution here, we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. On the other side, we get ready for restart number 5 here of the Short Track Throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. All right, we come back here from Langley Speedway for the short track throwdown. And here we go, restart number 5 about underway. Anthony Danta, Zach Nichols once again on the front row here of the restart.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
And Nichols able to almost start even with the 09 machine. We'll see what he can do here through turns 1 and 2. Oh, as Ron Hart goes on around. Hart hard into the outside wall. Andrew Payne will also spin, but Hart with the worst end of that one. And right away here, we head into our 6th caution of the evening. Oh, as Hart, that right front broken on that race car. That might be the end of the night for the 51. And that is a tough way to end it there, as we will try and take a look here, see what happened to Ron Hart. I believe Hart will get tagged in the back. Yeah, it looks like he gets tagged in the back from Josh Cole there in the 920. And then Hart will spin on around hard into that outside wall. And I'm surprised that broke the control arm of the 51 car, but that it did, and Hart will have extensive repairs to do on that 51. His night probably going to be over quite early here from Langley. That is the tough break for the 51 here, out just before, I believe, the halfway point here. And I tell you what, old Darrell Waltrip once said it, and it is very true, especially here on iRacing. Old cautions breed cautions, and that has been the case here. First, I want to say, 60 laps, only 1 caution. From here on out, we've had now 5 in about the last 40. So hopefully these drivers calming on down. They know they got time. Still a lot of racing left to be had. I mean, we're not even in the halfway point yet here tonight. As lights once again go out around the Langley Speedway, the short track throwdown getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. Danta once again in control. And I tell you what, Danta has led a lot of laps here so far. After taking over the point, he has led going to be now 60 laps here tonight at the short track throwdown. So right now, Danta leads the way with the most laps led here. And second would be Andrew Payne, as more cars wrecking here. And we head to our 7th caution. TJ Hassan here coming out from the infield grass. And we'll take a look here, see what happened to the 41 machine. As Hassan and John DeMeester will get into it there in turns 1 and 2. That will push the 41 machine down onto the apron, and it looks like that could have been a lot worse there, as I believe only 2 cars involved, the 41 and the 2 involved in that one. And hopefully we start to get things rocking and rolling, cleaned on up here, because now we get very, very close to the halfway point, and I'm sure you guys feel the same. I definitely feel it. Would love to see some green flag race and see how these pace of these drivers play on out, and see how this race plays on out here tonight. So biggest movers here at the moment, one of them being the 8 car of Zach Postma. He started in the 19th position. He is up into the top 10. The 8 car is running in P number 8. So a great run so far for Postma. And like I said earlier in the night, folks, as long as you're here at the end, anything can happen. You can run just like this, like I said, run up into the top 10 with the right strategy and just being there at the end when it counts. So Postma, biggest mover here at the moment, up 11 positions from where he started. So it looks like only 2 retirements from tonight's race. Beckett Brown being one of them in the 07, the other being Ron Hart. 18 cars now left on the speedway, 18 cars on the lead lap, and it looks like single file from race control.
Green, green,
as
green.
Here we go. Anthony Danta will lead the single file field back to green flag. And I like that call from race control saying, hey boys, we haven't had a clean restart. We are gonna say you guys will have to figure it out, start single file, and I like that call here. Out in front, Anthony Danta leads the way. Cars on the move here. Dave Payne trying to get around John DeMeester will do that. DeMeester will fall back here, will get an opening. It looks like about the 13th position now. Dem McDonald to the inside of the 2. Last time by the 09 of Anthony Danta, fastest lap completed by him. So there is still speed left in this 09 machine, trying to stretch it on out. Knows he has a lot of fast drivers behind him. I mean, you see the likes of Nichols, Crotacci, Gauker, and Martin all in the mix right there. And then don't look too far back. Hayden Swank, last time we were here, he walked away with the checkered flag. Swank could be sent in a decent spot here. Swank is the driver that has been the most recent driver to visit pit road that is running the best here tonight. So Swank could be looking halfway decent in the fuel strategy as well. So we'll keep an eye here on the 35 machine. Up in front though, Anthony Danta here leading the way. Zach Nichols in second, Jaden Crotacci third, Ian Martin getting around Jimmy Gauker for that 4th position, and then Gauker rounding out the top 5. As further on back here, Josh Cole getting around Zach Postma, same with Andrew Payne. Now Noah Boucher gonna try and do the same here. The 16 and the 8 will go side by side through 3 and 4. And Boucher will be 1 spot outside of the top 10 here. So at 16 going to try and rally. You can see all the damage to the front end of that race car. I'm sure that car not driving the way it started here tonight. Out in front for Anthony Danta, he will see the cross flags this time by. It is halfway down in the short track throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. Further towards the back here, Zach Coyer trying to make his way through the field. Coyer last pitted on lap 88, so he is the highest running driver that came down the last time by. So Coyer's sitting in that 14th position here. I tell you what, it may have felt like a long time, especially with, already 7 cautions, but at the halfway point here tonight, we are just over 30 minutes completed here in our feature event. So hopefully we get done in under a 2-hour broadcast, but we'll have to wait and see when it's all said and done. But out in front, Anthony Danta has yet to visit pit road, has been out in front though. He currently leads the way, going to be 80 laps led here this time by for the 09 car. And let's take a look at last time by everyone. And right now, Danta, one of the quickest cars on the speedway with a 15.78. He is only getting beaten by, the likes of Dave Payton back in 9th. And Payton has fresher tires than most of these front runners here tonight. So Danta definitely figuring out some good speed here late into a run. Right behind them, teammates going to switch positions here. Jaden Crotacci able to get around Zach Nichols. So Crotacci starting in the 6th position. He is back up into 2nd here. As how about this, Ian Martin now putting the pressure on Zach Nichols Martin started 11th here, and with some strategy, with some of the right calls, he has driven his way up into the top 5 for the first time here tonight, and now trying to get around the 44 of Zach Nichols for a podium spot. I say as cars starting to get further on by, we continue to click off laps. Let's do a little turn 3, turn it up for the short track throwdown here at Langley Speedway.
Caution, yellow flag is out. Stop the count.
Oh, as we get our 8th caution of the night here during the turn 3, turn it up. And I believe Zach Nichols involved in this one. So we will try and catch the 44 machine and see what happens. Yes, Nichols involved in this one. So we will have to see what brought out our 8th caution of the evening. So Zach Nichols, Ian Martin battling for that 3rd position. And Martin just gives Nichols a shot in the shorts there and tagging the left front corner of the 44. Nichols able to lock it on down before heading into traffic and doing a great job of keeping it out of harm's way. And that is the name of the game for these long, big time races, is being there at the end. You'll hear me say it a lot. And now a very, very busy pit road as we see pretty much the whole field down to pit road for some service. So drivers able to stop in their boxes here, and we will see Anthony Danta, first driver away, going to take right sides. Andrew Payne off in 2nd. Josh Cole in 3rd. Then Jimmy Gowker. Then it is Dave Payne, John DeMeester, Hayden Swank, Ian Martin. It looks like Zach Nichols going to try and take 4 tires before the pace car gets there. Yes, he'll be able to, as the rest of the field will try and beat that pace car. Jay Swank just able to do just that. So out in front, only a handful of drivers did not pit there. One of them being the 11 of Jaden Kratachi. And Kratachi has yet to come down pit road. How much more fuel does this 11 car have? Noah Boucher stayed on out. He will start 2nd, and Zach Postma will start 3rd here. Anthony Danta rolling off in 4th here for this restart. Man, oh man, this, if we didn't have chaotic restarts before, it's about to be chaotic here. As yeah, I tell you what, looking good out here, and yeah, I'm sure that 44 machine will be just fine and dandy. So the fans of the 44, I'm sure he'll be all right. Luckily, the field coming on down does help him on out just a little bit. But here we go. Jaden Kratachi going to be in control. Noah Boucher to his outside, and we head back to green flag racing here for the short track throwdown. And right as we say that, we get our 9th Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening, as it looks like Chase Swank here turning around that 155, as we will see what happened to Chase Swank here heading into turn number 1. So it looks like Swank and TJ Hassan will get together right at the start finish line, and Swank will go driver's side door into the outside wall with pretty significant contact. Luckily not fully up to speed, so his night probably not going to be done, but will definitely have a little bit more damage than what he had before that restart on this 155. So it looks like still Jaden Kratachi, Noah Boucher, and Zach Postma all going to stay on out, wait for a late race caution maybe to come on down for the final time. I mean, if you're Anthony Danta, if you're good on fuel, I mean, he ran his best lap right around, I want to say lap 80. It's like, does the 09 machine even see pit road again before the end of this one? That is the tough calls these drivers are going to have to make. And top 5 going to pay out some big time earnings. I mean, winner's going to walk away with $100 here tonight. So a lot on the line, as well as, you know, this is a regular points paying night for all the drivers running for points as well. So a lot at stake here as we get the signal to double foul them on up. Jaden Kratachi going to choose the obvious spot for the restart. Going to choose the inside lane here. All right, it's going to be Kratachi and Boucher front row here for restart number 9 of the evening. Kratachi will jump on it here, and we head back to green flag racing as we approach the final quarter of the race here, as Boucher able to hold off Anthony Danta, at least that time down the backstretch. Not sure how many laps he can hold him on off. How about no laps at all, as here comes Anthony Danta trying to get back to the front here. He will bring along Josh Cole. Those two were 1 and 2 for a little bit here tonight. Now currently running in the 2nd and 3rd position, but definitely have the tire advantage over the 11 car, as Kratachi will try and hang on to as many spots as he can before he comes down pit road here. Danta will look to the inside of the 11. Contact made. More contact as Danta into the grass. Danta will lose quite a few spots because of it. Man, oh man, these drivers starting to get elbows out racing here. Kratachi gonna try and hang on to that race lead as hard as he can. Here comes now Josh Cole to put a fight. Here comes Jimmy Gauker as well. Gauker has hung around the top 10, top 5 all night long. Now he's in the mix to take over the race lead. Oh, as Gauker into the back of Josh Cole. That will spin the 920 machine on around and bring out our 10th caution here right before the final quarter mark of the race here. As we will go take a look here, see the contact between the 2 and the 920 here. So Cole looking to the inside of Kratachi. Will have to back it on down. Then with that, the 2 of Jimmy Gauker just gives him a shot in the back bumper, enough to spin him on around. And I think Andrew Payne gonna Baja through the grass. And wow, that would put Payne back to the back there. So a tough split-second call, and the wrong call at that, sadly, for the 91. As he will once again head back down pit side after Baja through the grass there. So our 10th caution of the evening here, and still yet the 11 car has not came down to pit road. So he has now the only driver yet to come down pit road and the driver that has been down pit road more than anyone else is the driver currently sitting in the 7th position. Zach Coyer has been down pit road 9 times here tonight. So I believe only this 10th caution has the 13 machine not been down pit road. Here we go as single file restart caught me off guard, but we are going back to green flag racing here at the short track throwdown. Jaden Kurtachi here leading now over Jimmy Gauker in second. Anthony Danta there getting forced onto the grass. He has still hung on to a good spot here. He sits in that 3rd position trying to race down these leaders. Out in front here is the best battle on the speedway. No one else really moving and shaking for positions as we see Danta here looking to the inside of the 2 car. Gauker will get a piece of the wall down the backstretch. Danta will try and shove that nose to the inside of the 2. Will have position by the time they get into turn number 1. Anthony Danta going to try and make this pass as quickly as possible. Jimmy going to try and head down to the bottom side. He will do just that there in front of Ian Martin. Martin will give the 2 a shot in the shorts there off at turn number 4. Out in front though, Jaden Kurtachi continues to lead the way. Kurtachi has now led 22 laps here tonight, most of them coming under the caution flag, but the driver with the most laps led here, 90 laps led, is Anthony Danta trying to get back that race lead. I believe with the laps left here in tonight's race, Anthony Danta is going to walk away with the most laps led here for the first annual short track throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. So Jaden doing a great job at hanging on to this race lead, even with those old worn out tires here tonight. He has held off now new tires right behind him of Danta, Gauker, and Martin, all right there. Further towards the back here, Andrew Payne getting around Dem McDonald. That will move Payne back into the top 10 here tonight after an up and down night, and Andrew Payne up and over down the backstretch earlier here tonight. That 91 car trying to rebound here into the top 10, and I don't think there's a straight body panel left on that 91 machine. Contact there for the race lead there as Anthony Danta gets in the back of Jaden Kurtachi. Both cars getting a little slideways off of turn number 4. How will they navigate 3 and 4 this time around? That's right on board with Kurtachi, our race leader, looking back here at the cars behind him here. And you can hear once again here at this Langley Speedway, very, very little throttle time. You're almost off the throttle more than you are on it with this small variable ring. As here we go, Jaden Kurtachi somehow hangs onto that race car. Wow, we were right on board with it, but that will allow Jimmy Gauker to maybe take over the point. Yes, it does. Jimmy Gauker to the race lead, and once again, Anthony Danta into the grass, Ian Martin up into second. How will these two race it on out between them? Very, very close elbows out racing between them. And I'm sure those two not going to be a fan of each other before the end of this one. So with that, Kurtachi will fall back to that 5th position here. And now look at this new race leader out in front. Jimmy Gauker will lead with about 50 laps to go here tonight for the short track throwdown. Man, oh man, Gauker ran last season full time with ASRC. or excuse me, I believe 2 seasons ago. Took a break off last season, making his first appearance this season. And what a way it would be if Jimmy Gowker could walk away with the first ever short track throwdown trophy. He sits in one of the best spots here out in front. Like I said, if this race goes green to the end, it's going to be very important these last 50 laps where you are out on track here. Because I have a feeling if we get a caution, we'll probably see most of the field down on pit road again, probably to get another tire set or maybe use up their final tire set, because anything less than, 20 laps, it's going to be very, very tough to make it up back through this field. Speaking of making it up back through this field, how about all of these cars? Zach Coyer up into 8th, Andrew Payne 9th. And look at this, Zach Nichols once again back into the top 10. His car looking pretty clean as, more cars going on around. Jaden Kurtachi now will finally spin. And I believe, as heads up, Zach Coyer will also go on around here under the caution conditions. So we will have to see what happened to Jaden Kurtachi. So Kurtachi will get passed by Josh Cole, will fall on the line, and then Dave Payton will have a big shot to the back end of the 11 and then get him again once he stopped. Payton definitely had some help in that second spin. I think Zach Coyer got in the back of him there, but wow, what a change of pace then here on the front stretch. A little whoopsie-daisy moment there as the 13 makes pretty heavy contact with that wall there. So down on pit road for probably their final time here tonight. Anthony Danta down, Zach Postma, Hayden Swank, Jaden Kurtachi, and Stephen Hoffman. A lot of big names down on pit road here. As out in front, Jimmy Gowker going to stand out. Same with Ian Martin, Andrew Payne, and Zach Nichols. And Noah Boucher. I mean, all those guys inside the top 5 with under 50 laps to go. Man, oh man, this is where it gets wild. This is where you can be starting to count the cash or seeing that cash fly right over your head from here on out. As Jimmy Gowker has ran a great race nice and quietly and consistent inside this top 10, now with the race lead, as Gowker will choose the inside lane. And I want to say the 2 car has led the last 11 laps. Can he lead the most important lap at the end of this one? We'll find out here. It's going to be Gowker Martin on the front row for the 11th restart of the night. Through 3 and 4, the field will come. Green. Here we go. Jimmy Gowker on the loud pedal through the gears. Oh, as Gowker gets some help from Ian Martin. Martin quickly trying to get to the bottom side. Gets into our race leader. Somehow, that 2 car able to save that race car. Man, that could have been very, very bad. Andrew Payne able to hang on to 3rd. Here comes now Zach Nichols with the crossover. Nichols into the podium spots. Zach Nichols is far from over with 40 laps to go.
Caution, yellow flag. Slow her down.
Oh, as they were wrecking off at turn number 2 there, we will try and see what happened, but I believe it started with involving the 920 of Josh Cole, so we will have to see what happened to Cole on the outside lane here. As the incident definitely started off at turn number 2, Cole almost into the back of Devin McDonald. McDonald slow on the throttle maybe, or Cole was not expecting that checkup. Anthony Danta involved, Hayden Swank, Stephen Hoffman, and Danta, the driver with the most laps led here tonight, coming down pit road into the Hornet's Nest, and he got stung with that one there. So Danta will come down pit road, try and get some of that damage repaired on the 09 car. Looks like top 10 gonna stay on out. So Jimmy Gallagher here leads away over Ian Martin, Zach Nichols in third, Andrew Payne fourth, Noah Boucher rounding out the top 5, Devin McDonald 6th, TJ Hassan 7th, Jaden Kratachi 8th, Zach Core 9th, John DeMeester in 10th. First car off at pit road is Zach Postma. Then it is Dave Payton. Then after Payne, Danta, then Swank, then Hoffman. The top 15 off of pit road. And I believe we have whittled it down now to 15 cars out left in the race and out on the racetrack. So I say let's get a little creative with the cameras here and take a look at the fan cams here. Get a look of what it's like to be here at the Langley Speedway and see what these fans are seeing. Lights are out around the Langley Speedway. We are going green next time by, and it looks like once again we are going to have a single file restart inside of 40 laps left here tonight for the short track throwdown. So Gauker going to be in control of the field here. iRace and Pace Truck will make the hard left-hand turn down on pit road. And here we go. Jimmy Gauker off and away with about 35 laps left in this one here tonight.
Caution, yellow flag. Slow her down.
As right away we get our 13th caution of the evening. We will try and see where this was at. It looks like maybe Devin McDonald, TJ Hassan already down on pit road, so would have to think it involved those two cars. We will take a look here as McDonald will head into turn number 1 and Hassan, wow, almost chasing the back bumper of the 18 machine. Maybe had to try and save the race car or something, but that not the greatest look there, and that will create yet another 2-car incident here tonight at Langley. So with our 13th caution of the evening, we will be right back after a quick commercial break here. A word from our partners over at Premier Setup Shops. We come back here live from Langley Speedway for the short track throwdown here. Jimmy Gauker out in front here. Once we get rocking and rolling, folks, it'll probably be about a 30-lap shootout here. So we started the night with 200 laps in the main event. Now we are down to about 30 laps to go here in this one. Jimmy Gauker once again going to be in control of yet another restart for the 2 machine. Through 3 and 4, the field will make their way, and Jimmy Gauker going to be in control. He will jump on the loud pedal here, and we head back to green flag racing with 30 laps to go here at Langley. Top 3 get away with a pretty good start here. Andrew Payne going to try and stick with that top 3. Here comes now Jaden Kratachi on those fresh tires. He has some of the freshest tires out here in the field. Does he have enough time? He is up into 5th here as he gets around Noah Boucher. Boucher now going to try and hang on to that spot from Zach Coyer right behind him. Right in front of Stephen Hoffman here, Dave Payne, Anthony Danta all up in a mix. Zach Coyer able to get around Noah Boucher, so that may cause just a little bit of an accordion. Here comes now Dave Payne to the inside of the 8 car of Postma. Postma here still hanging on to a top 10 finish with about going to be 25 laps to go here, this time by at the stripe. Oh, it's contact there. Anthony Danta, Zach Postma. Danta will somehow hang on to that race car. Holy smokes, what a save from Danta. But the bad news for the 09, he lost a lot of track position. Gonna have to hope for a caution before it's all said and done. Up towards the front here, Jaden Kratachi able to get around Andrew Payne. Now sets his sights on his teammate. Man, oh man, what's gonna happen here? Ian Martin, Zach Nichols make contact. Nichols will bring out the plow, will put the shovel nose down, say, hey, it is go time here. As old Martin gets into the back of Nichols, and I think that was caused by Jaden Kratachi into the back of the 98. So I believe that's what brought out the caution flag, a little bit of ping pong between some drivers. Let's take a look one more time at it. As, yeah, you see the 11 get into the back of the 98. That will shoot him on forwards into the back of Nichols. And then with that, all drivers able to somehow hang on to their race car. But the caution flag did come out. So should be really interesting to see if anyone taps on the roof, takes the claim with that. Because that would be a tough loss at the end of this race to be inside of about 20 to go and have to go to the back with a tap out. So Payne from inside of the top 5 down on pit road. I believe going to take his last tire set of the evening. Also down on pit road, Noah Boucher and John DeMeester. Only 3 cars down on pit road here under our 14th caution of the evening. There's one guy that wants to see as many battles as he can behind him. It is our race leader of Jimmy Gallagher. He is saying, you boys keep on throwing elbows out, keep on throwing haymakers at each other. I would love to just check on out and end up winning one of the biggest ASRC races of all time. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ken, there. Enough messing around, boys. Let's get to some racing action. Let's finish this thing off strong with some great racing at the end of this. As lights will go out around the speedway once again. Going to be a single file start. Who this helps out the most? Probably the 98 of Ian Martin. Same with the 44 of Zach Nichols. Instead of those cars starting on the outside of the cars around them, they get to start right in line here. As here we go, 14th restart of the night about to be underway. Jimmy Gallagher in control. Gallagher on the loud pedal, gonna try and run away and hide for these last 18 laps. Ian Martin, what more does he have left in the tank? Him and Gallagher on even tires, everyone behind him. Tire advantage to those cars. Like I said, Jaden Kratachi, some of the best tires out on the speedway. Definitely the best tires inside this top 5 with now 16 and a half laps left to go here tonight. How about this guy here, folks, as well? Zach Coyer down on pit road 10 times here tonight. He has driven his way into the top 5. Coyer right now in some money positions. As here we go, battle for second. Jaden Kratachi will look to the inside of Ian Martin. We'll have to back on out of it here. Can Kratachi get on around the 98 with 15 laps left in this one? Oh man, Martin big time into the wall down the backstretch. You saw it there from that wall camera. That will open up the door for Jaden Kratachi. Kratachi now up into second. Here comes Zach Nichols to third. And how about this, folks? All 3 teammates inside the top 5. not even that now, inside the top 3, as Jaden Kratachi will miss the corner there into turn number 3. That opens up the door for Zach Nichols. Here comes now Nichols up to the runner-up spot. Nichols able to get clear, so Zach Nichols up in a second. Can he race down our race leader? 12 laps to go, about 3/4 of a second difference. Man, oh man, it's going to be very close if he can get there before this race is over with. Next time by here at the start finish line, we will see 10 laps to go. And let's take a look at those lap times from these drivers here. As you can see, Zach Nichols about half of a tenth better. But oh man, this will change up a lot. Our 15th Boardwalk Subs caution coming out here tonight. And I believe Hayden Swank, yes, he is involved. That car heavily damaged. No spoiler or back end on that car. He is definitely going to have to come down pit road, try and get that car repaired on up. We'll take a look, see what happened to Swank, as Swank will get a piece of the wall down the back stretch, and then the 8 car of Postma will get into the back of him. So not sure if we can maybe back it up a little bit further, try and see what happened, but not sure. I think Hayden Swank has an issue. It looks like, no, his pace is pretty decent down the back stretch here, but gets into the wall a ton, and maybe that's enough to slow up that car, and Postma just gets into the back of the 35. Then Swank will big time back into the outside wall there. As wow, Noah Boucher just going to get a piece of it. TJ Hassan just going to get clear as well. So now this leaves here tonight under a 10-lap shootout to the end of this one. Can Jimmy Gauker hang on for, 9 more laps? He has led the last 46 laps here tonight. Would love to go on to pick up one of his biggest ASRC wins here tonight. Zach Nichols in that second position here. He has led only 1 lap here. Would love to lead another lap, that being the most important at the checkered flag. Jaden Kratachi, of course, leading 30 laps up here. And then I believe our 4th place driver, Ian Martin, has yet to lead any laps, but did start outside of the top 10. Currently running in the money positions in 4th. And Zach Corey, like I mentioned before here, folks, has been down pit road many of times. He is in that 5th position. So here we go. We are going to let him try a double file restart. We will see how this works on out, but it's going to be Gauker, Nichols on the front row as the iRacing Pace truck here heads down pit road. And here we go, a 5-lap shootout to decide who is walking away with the first ever short track throwdown victory. Zach Nichols able to get to the bottom side in P number 2. What does he have left in the tank for our race leader? How rough does he race his teammate and friend Jimmy Gauker? Can Jimmy Gauker hang on to it? Can Jaden Kratachi come in here and spoil the party as well? Here we go. It is 3 laps to go. Further on back, Andrew Payne trying to get around Dave Payne for the 7th position. Does just that. Anthony Danta trying to get around Dave Payne as well. Danta was maybe one of the cars here to beat. Not going to be the case here at the end. Popsicle sticks up in the air. It is 2 laps to go of the short track throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. Jimmy Gauker just needs to hit the lap of his life here. Has some heavy pressure behind, but the white flag is out. 1 lap to go around Langley Speedway. Gauker enters a little bit high, able to exit low through 3 and 4. What more does Nichols have? It won't be enough. Off of turn number 4, Jimmy Gauker will be the short track throwdown champion here tonight. Zach Nichols will finish second. Jaden Kritachi will round out the podium. But wow, what a night it has been for Jimmy Gauker. He has led 52 laps here tonight. Best time was a 15.38 for the 2 machine. And I tell you what, he is pumped on up and he will burn it on down here on the front stretch. Jimmy Gauker is our short track throwdown champion, presented by LaPlante Racing Products. And don't go anywhere, folks, because right after this, we will be chatting with our podium here tonight. Going to be the top 3 of Kritachi, Nichols, and Gauker. So we'll be right back after a quick commercial break as Jimmy Gauker not done from celebrating here tonight.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we head back here to Langley Speedway to chat with our podium finishers. Our first driver we will be talking to is the driver of the 11. It will be Jaden Kritachi here. Jaden, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, my man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 200 laps around Langley?
A bit of frustrated, stressed, and can't believe that we got third.
Yeah, it seemed like an up and down night here tonight for you. I mean, that strategy call was bold. You were the last driver by a mile to yet come down pit road. Was that the game plan?
No, I just figured more people were gonna stay out than that, which I should have stuck to my guts. And when I tested earlier, tires was the way to go at some point. But I mean, yeah, you know, is what it is. You make the call, you stick to it. Our bed was made there for a minute, and we made it work for a hot second. Had to do some abrasive maneuvers, but it held in for a bit, and then it just, yeah, right front pretty much went flat.
Yeah, a tough break there at the end, you know, for your hopes of winning. But overall, to walk away with a podium finish after all things considered has to feel halfway all right, right?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not mad about this. I mean, No Chance Motorsports just got 1, 2, 3, so that's an awesome night right there. Congrats to Jimmy on his win tonight as well. But yeah, coming on P3, can't complain about that, especially with the way it looked like things were gonna go after I did pit. I didn't really think I was gonna be able to get back through the field, but we caught a couple good breaks and managed to end up where we are now.
Yeah, and overall, man, not only is tonight, paying some of that cold hard cash, but also points paying night. I know the points not fully on your radar, but a good night like tonight always helps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was kind of hoping this was just going to be our halfway break, but then Race Control came over and said that was the finish. So, I mean, unfortunately, can't go another 200. I would have loved that, but yeah, points that helps us out a little bit. Like I said, or like you said, we're not really running for points, kind of out here just for the fun of it and just trying to have a good time with everybody.
Yeah, and hopefully you're pretty pumped up with this finish. Like you said, No Chance Motorsports sweeping the podium. That's something to be excited about for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, Jimmy has been MIA for like 10 months now, and freaking first race he comes back, he wins. So apparently that needs to be our kind of strategy, and we need to try that out.
Yeah, I tell you what, he came in here and he was right place at the right time and got the job done with you guys behind him. It wasn't an easy win at all for sure.
No, definitely not. I mean, he had Zach on him. He had the 98 car. The 98 was kind of scary, not gonna lie. I mean, he had a ton of good cars around him the whole night and managed to hold him off for those final 50 to 20 laps, whatever it was. And yeah, he ran a good race. Zach did pretty good too. I don't know what happened there into turn one. If I got into the 98 and the 98 got into Zach and about spun all of us, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Kind of thought more of a racing deal, if anything. So we'll see how that goes then post race.
Yeah, it definitely looked like, just the classic accordion of everyone on the bottom side. But, looking forwards here, Jaden, we have Irwindale next week. I mean, you have had some great races there. I'm sure you're excited to see that track next on the schedule as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Irwindale is one of my favorite tracks on here. Multi-groove racing, and you can throw some Hail Marys there. So that's going to be a fun race, and hopefully we can knock off a win before the season's over. I know we're getting close.
Yeah, you definitely are. You just need that last little bit, that right kind of luck, let's say, because you're right there in contention most each and every week. So, Jaden, before we let you go and celebrate on the podium with your teammates, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank here from the Short Track Throwdown.
First off, got to thank Zach and Jimmy for being good teammates tonight. We all helped each other the best we could, whether getting down in line and cutting each other some breaks. So that's definitely nice of them and all of us working together, and that obviously made a huge difference with us getting 1, 2, 3 there. Port City Race Cars for building some bad, fast race cars. We got Ryan Competition Engines making some killer motors, some crazy horsepower out of them. Gotta love it. Sponsor-wise, we got, let's see, it's been a minute since I've done this. I'm rusty. We got Army Car Company Preferred Warranties, Hoax Graphics, Community-Wide Federal Credit Union, R&M Towing, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody on there, but yeah, we'll stick with them for the moment. TechWorks Trailer Sales is another one too, so.
Yeah, I can't forget all those great sponsors, Jaden, and you, my man. Have a great rest of the night. That was an exciting race, and can't wait to see what you have to bring for a hot rod next week at Irwindale.
Yep, thank you for the broadcast and helping put the show on, and thanks for everybody for watching the race.
Alrighty, no problem. Thanks for being part of the race in action, Jaden.
Yep.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher, the 11 car of Jaden Kratachi. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher. That is now going to be the 44 of Zach Nichols. Zach, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yep, we do.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 200 laps here at Langley?
We were feeling pretty good. The beginning of the race started off pretty good. We got some green flag runs and then knocked the nose off the thing in a little wreck in 1 and 2. So kind of spent like majority of the race just trying to get damage fixed, and then we got turned and got a whole nother minute of damage that we had to get fixed, and then we were able to finally make a charge towards the front with about like 70 or something laps to go.
Yeah, Zach, and I'm looking at kind of the stats from the race and whatnot. You were down on pit road 5 times here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. Definitely had to get a lot of damage fixed, which I don't know if it really, we got most of it fixed towards the end. So I don't think it had anything to do with us not winning, but definitely was not good at the beginning part of the race.
Yeah, I was going to say, your car looks a lot better than it did at the middle part of the race. So your crew, putting in the overtime, getting that work done here, and yeah, putting you in contention. I mean, oh so close for you to go from the back to the front. What more did you think you need? What kind of different strategy or different outcome do you think was needed for the 44 here tonight?
I mean, we just kind of got put behind the 8 ball with the wreck earlier on, and then kind of midway through we got turned around. So I don't think if any of those things happened, we could have been up front earlier and maybe made a charge towards the lead. But that's how she goes sometimes. Definitely glad to be able to come home P2 and walk away with some money.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, at least it's not, outside of the money paying, as well as, another good points night for the 44. I mean, overall, it could have been a lot worse, especially with how chaotic this race was, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I know Jimmy's, only been racing, I don't even know if I think this was his first race, so I don't even think he's racing for points. So I think we were the first car in the points chase to where we finished, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely were by a mile. I don't think even Jaden Kutachi's up in the points battle. I think the next best finisher that has been here for the amount of weeks to count for the points, I think Zach Coyer back in fifth. So, Zach, you continued to stretch that lead here in that points battle.
Oh, thank you. It's been a fun season so far. I was really wish the ending of this race didn't have as many cautions as it did, but the beginning half was fun, and the little run there at the end to try to get outbeat Jimmy there was pretty fun, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, you had to think, were you gonna put the nose to your teammate Jimmy Gallagher there at the end, or were you just hoping maybe he would make a mistake, which is always a tall order with No Chance Motorsports drivers?
Oh yeah, we were just gonna wait and see if he made a mistake, which he didn't. I had Jaden yelling in my ear to give him the bumper, so he had a shot going to that last lap. But I was all content with the P2, and yeah.
Yeah, a great night, like you said before, Zach, here. And going into next week, we have Irwindale Speedway. You don't have to start at the back for that one. How you feeling about that place? That place always is action-packed and racy.
Wait, what track was it?
Irwindale Outer.
Oh, in previous seasons, that track's been pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to it. It's usually racy. You can use the bottom, you can use the top. So usually I run the bottom, and then when I come to slide up on the straightaways, I end up slamming into somebody. So hopefully we don't do that next week, and we have a clean race there.
Yeah, hopefully as well, man. And yeah, like I mentioned before, luckily for you, you don't have to start at the back. So probably we'll start from that 12th starting spot like you know so well, right?
I mean, I hope, but I definitely feel like we figured something out with Q, and definitely I don't know, we've been good on it, so hopefully we can continue that.
Yep, here tonight, of course, you walked away with the quick time here, picking up some extra bonus money for a heat race win, and then walking away with P number 2. Overall, a great night for you, Zach. So before we let you go and celebrate the P number 2, we're going to go hand over the mic for you to thank who you got to thank from the Short Track Throwdown.
Oh yeah, we got this Port City race car, best chassis you can get. We also got this Rhine motor under the hood, bad fast machine. Shout them out. That's all with the No Chance Motorsports people. They bring the best equipment. My dad's watching, like, shout him out. My uncle Kenny's watching, like, shout him out. My sponsors, PSS&C, R&M Towing, Carney's Complete Auto Service, RSS Mobile Trailer Repair, Fricker's Mint, Hoax Graphics. They do a ton to help us out, and looking forward to the rest of the season. And yeah, I also like to shout you guys out too for broadcasting.
Yeah, always a great time, Zach, and thank you for being part of the show that all of us get to enjoy. So you, my man, go celebrate this with your team. I know it's going to be a party down in No Chance Motorsports tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher, the 44 of Zach Nichols. Now we'll head down to the man of the hour and the first ever winner of the Short Track Throwdown. It is the driver of the number 2, Jimmy Gallagher. Do you got a copy?
I got a copy, Brett.
Alrighty, my man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 200 laps? You are the first ever Short Track Throwdown winner presented by LaPlante Racing Products.
I was expecting the win to be.
Uh-oh, Jimmy, do we still got you? We're going to take one moment, folks, try and get this little bit of technical difficulties, I believe. We're going to go do a quick commercial break just to double check everything. We'll be right back with our interview with Jimmy Gowker. Alrighty, folks. Well, we are back here at Langley Speedway, and I believe Jimmy Gowker, I tell you what, he is a lucky driver. He just timed out of the session as well as Discord. So right after the checkered flag, he loses internet connection. Hopefully, we will get him on back here before we finish on up. So while we wait for the driver of the number 2 here, we will start running down tonight's finishing results here and see where your favorite driver finished in the first annual Short Track Throwdown presented by LaPlante Racing Products. So here tonight, Jimmy Gowker will pick up the win in the 02. Zach Nichols will finish P number 2. Jaden Kratacci will round out the podium, finishing in 4th. And some money is the 98 of Ian Martin. And like I said, folks, Zach Coyer, what a rebound it was tonight for him. He was down on pit road 10 times. He finishes in 5th in the money. Finishing in 6th is the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. Andrew Payne, from going upside down on the backstretch, will finish P number 7. Finishing in 8th is Dave Payne. 9th going to Anthony Danta. And Devin McDonald will round out the top 10. Noah Boucher will bring it home 11th. 12th going to Hayden Swink. John DeMeester will finish 13th. And Zach Postma will finish P number 14. Finishing in 15th is TJ Hassan. 16th going to Josh Cole. 17th is Chase Swank in the 155. Chuck Darling in the 88 will finish in P number 18. 19th will be Ron Hart. 20th is Beckett Brown. And then the drivers that did not make the call to the green, Dan Dill and Jamie Leach. So that will do it here from Langley Speedway for the first annual Short Track Throwdown. Of course, we got to give a huge shout out to Noah Boucher and LaPlante Racing Products coming on board, making this thing possible. It has been a great race, a lot of hype coming into tonight, and this race was action-packed and a great finish to end things on with. Also, we got to thank, of course, our series sponsor, Postma Flooring, coming on board with the super late models. They will be back, of course, the lead sponsor next week, as these cars will head to Irwindale Speedway. You won't want to miss that. That track always puts on a great show, and that will come to you live next Tuesday night. Also, we got to thank, of course, Boardwalk Subs as the caution and the flag sponsor here, as Boardwalk Subs definitely got some use here tonight. I believe 15 cautions for 58 laps here at Langley, so a lot, but that's what you get with a 200 lapper with a lot on the line. Also, we got to thank Premier Setup Shops, partnering with Turn Through Racing Network. If you want to check them on out, you can check them out with a link in the description. You don't have to buy anything, but a click would go a long way. So that will do it here tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night as the American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Series take on over at Langley Speedway. You can catch that racing action live on Turn 3 Racing Network. If not, next Tuesday night, the super late models will return, like I said, at Irwindale Outer. So that will do it here tonight for myself. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.